The project we were talking about today is Flower. It's continued since the spring semester of this year. So this semester we have some bigger goals for it, and it's basically the simplification of creating flowcharts. And one of the main problems we were having over last semester was workflow and how to interact with each other. Aside from just the GitHub repo, is where we need a application repository as well for the web app. So here's a horrible diagram of our workflow. It has the web apps repository and the GitHub repository submodule, and two websites, one for testing and one for public use that's not available yet. And we're building an API for creating the templates that generate the flowcharts, and you'll talk about that.
Alright, so I guess the main goal of our project is to make visualizations, but we also want other developers to make visualizations for the flowcharts as well. And while we're creating our own templates, we've only created 2 so far. We've realized that a lot of problems in making those templates repeated. So for example, the problem of a text box being too large and like overlapping the other components of the flowchart. So with the API, we wanted to provide functions to provide solutions for those common problems. So far, it's only a skeleton right now, a really bare skeleton. The graph component up here would give developers functions of just interacting with the data structure of the flowchart. So getting a node's adjacencies, getting nodes that have only arrows pointing to them. And we also have a graph component here, a graphic component here, which we haven't really worked on yet, but it would provide routing algorithms for arrows and placements of nodes on the flowchart. And yeah, this is another diagram that explains the APIs. But as you can see on the bottom here, as Pat said, this flowchart took 3 days, and if you can see the next slide.
All right, so I've been updating the input GUI over the summer and since the last presentation we did. So now it works with JSON files. I've also added hotkeys in, so it works really, really fast. And I made a global variable to disable animations, which really helps with mobile devices because they can't really run the animations all that fluidly. And then started adding touch support and various graphics updates to make everything look slick. And actually, I'll show a sample of what that looks like. So, should I join RCOS is the title, and if I wanted to edit things, I take off the arrow from the link. I can navigate around using the arrow keys. Do you want to be computer oriented? I could add onto that, yes and no. If you do, then yeah, you should totally join RCOS. And if you don't, then maybe RCOS isn't the thing for you. If all that gets put together, when you push view, which you can't really see on this because the projector doesn't show the entire screen, it will generate the entire chart in one of the output templates. Right now it's the classic template that I've been working on. So from the creation mode, it'll generate a static template. Right now I have it so it generates according to your screen size. So if this was like half the screen, then it would generate it to different proportions. And then the things that can be edited are the textures on each of the different nodes and all the radiuses and all that stuff, which people love to edit. And now back to templates with edits.
Templates? Oh, well, so far we've been working on the classic one, or the main issue was the routing algorithm, which isn't too bad now. And other than that, last summer semester I showed you the iPhone template that takes the data and kind of makes a iPhone-oriented template, and I can show you that. In the next few months, we'll be moving these templates onto the Flower API for making the templates and making more templates. And then putting all these pieces together on the website that had that crazy workflow, and then an alpha test so you guys can make flowcharts. And I'll show you for the people that weren't here in the summer, I'll show you the iPhone one. So it generates something like this, and then you can interact with it and reset it. So, yeah, thank you, Northeast Shauna Sullivan, and everyone here.
Any questions?
I was looking at your routing algorithm. It looks like it keeps everything sort of colliding, which is nice. But you have any way to implement it so that it has some sort of hierarchy. So you'll have your speed question, you'll have yes, no on the same level, then the result of that on the same level, and the result of that.
Yeah, so that's basically, that would be a different template, which this one is, I made it so that it just outputs however it can do efficiently. I have to update it so it's a little bit more efficient as far as like placing things around. But what if you wanted it, for instance, to place the one with the stripes at the top, and then have two arrows coming out of that, and then each of those has options going off of that, that would be the job of somebody else who's making the template. So we're putting it out to people to use our API to make different routing algorithms.
Yeah, this routing algorithm is more for like the compressed look. But yeah, that's definitely one of the main ones we need to make.
If you really want a tree, I guess, template, we could probably make one by next presentation.
Well, that's one of the main things I'll be working on is once they get more of the API set, I get more familiar with the code and everything, is just making more specific templates, like a tree template or maybe something that's like spirals out from the center, just different routing algorithms
Do
and
you
stuff.
have an idea for 3D templates or something?
Yeah, so basically it's like, it's limitless of what people can come up with. It's just, we're taking it and we're making it so that people can input their data and then they can make it
That's why
whatever
we want to make the API so it's not too restricting, and can have lots of different options as to how it looks.
Jerry has a question there.
Is this using HTML5 canvas element? Or is this?
It's just using Raphael, so SVG graphics.
Yeah, so you can really easily save this as like a picture and share it and all that stuff.
For templates in our API, if you also want to give developers like an option to fall back on like CSS and HTML if they want to. But right now it's defaulted to SVG graphics.
So, do you know what D3 is?
Yeah, data visualization.
Yeah. They have graph stuff in there too.
True, but they have like, I guess it's like one visualization for a certain type of chart, and we wanted to give like different options for users. You know, now they want to visualize it. So.
But you can always like skim those charts, right? Because they have set routing algorithms.
True. I guess our project is a little different in that. I mean, yeah, that code is probably going to be repeated, but we want to just give the users a bunch of templates to just click from and just visualize right away.
All right, thanks.